Hey guys and gals, let's build Moana and Merida by Lego Brickheads. This is set number 40621. It has, I think, 410 bricks. And this is exactly what we're doing today. So we got two bags here. And that's what we'll be doing. So each one of these is broken down so you can build with a partner. And today is February 1st, 2023. Already dropping parts on the ground before I even start building. And this set was provided to me by the LEGO Group for review. And more information on this video and the disclaimers that go along with it will be in the description. So that saves me a bunch of time from have to read the disclaimers all the time. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing these names correctly. This is Moana, and that kind of stuff. And for some unknown reason, I got a head cold, so I'm trying to get rid of it. So hands are kind of achy, and I'm kind of tired and scratchy cough. So hopefully I won't cough in anybody's ear today. Well, let's begin with bag one. All right. So bag one does Moana. I'm just saying that for indexing purposes. So this is what we'll be focusing on today. And, you know, I hate when you come up with a really good tutorial only to find out you don't have the parts. And I have another tutorial I thought would be pretty trivial. So I looked it up. Nobody has came up with this idea. So I'm going to do that tutorial. And you know what, let me turn it like that. There we go. And yeah. So I've been trying to get my mind off the bad things. I'm trying to get taxes done, and I'm still working on those, waiting for forms to come in. I've only got half of everything, and I'm just like rolling my eyes thinking, come on. I just want to hurry up and get this done. Oh, wow. I got bricks inside there. What's that, fluff and puff? No, that's usually done when you run out of bricks. This one's actually got extra stuff in it. I'm not much into brick heads, brick heroes. I call them brick heroes or brick villains, whatever people call them these days. I may pronounce them wrong in some of the video recordings. If I do, I'll just come in and re-record those for the final review. Sometimes some people take that seriously if you mispronounce something, unless I'm just completely just missing it. But yeah, that kind of thing. That's why I put now the disclaimers and the descriptions now. Somebody goes, Jay, like, oh, read the disclaimer. All right. Okay, so far, we're building just, this is probably the only sign of life we have right here. And that's printed, by the way. I have to admit about these brick heads, at least everything is printed, so you don't have to mess with stickers. And yeah, you know, but oh yeah, this set retails for $19.99. That's $19.99 US currency for 410 something bricks. That's not bad. That really is not bad. That's pretty cheap. That's like less than 5 cents per brick. Yeah, I definitely will recommend these for parts, for medium to small parts. And so far, I don't really normally buy brick heads. I don't see the appeal of them for my style of building. But just for the parts wise, they're not terribly bad. Trying to get the eyes on straight here. There we go. this goes here. Not too bad. I remember a long time ago, somebody had, it was Lego Ideas, or somebody mentioned it to Lego. They wanted to bring out BrickHeads of all professional Lego YouTube reviewers. And I thought, for me as a Lego hobbyist, I would literally just roll my eyes to those, thinking, I'm not buying that. Maybe for the parts, but not just for anything else. You know, matter of fact, since I've signed up to this, I have never got a Lego Ideas set yet. Maybe they don't do the Lego Ideas. Oh, we got to put 8 more of those on there, huh? And if you're looking at that wrong, no, they're kind of crooked on there. But yeah, I was looking thinking, I have never yet to receive an idea set. And I know they have a new one coming out that uses a lot of reddish brown. And I was like, oh no, unless Legos, I already had a few people ask me if I'm going to review it. And I'm like, I can't tell you, unless you'll have to find out. If Lego provides it to me, I'll review it. But if not, I'm not throwing away money in a set with reddish brown that's going to break after a year. So no, I definitely will not be investing into that. So far, these sets here, these are pretty good part investments, or if you're into collecting BrickHeads, so you won't be disappointed with these. This one's just got a lot of little parts on this one here. Both of these do. And then we sandwich that together with, yeah, looks like a little crown, like a squashed crown. Flip it upside down. So yeah, if you get this set, you're not going to be disappointed in part count. You're not going to be disappointed in the quality so far. I've done a few BrickHeads. I think there was only one that was just kind of flaky, that was falling apart. But other than that, though, I haven't really had any real issues with these. Yeah, in addition, I'm working on a mobile review table, so I can move it around and do reviews on the go. Why would you do that, Jay? Because when I start taking care of my parents, I won't be able to easily do these here anymore, so I need to take the table with me. Whoa. And I mean, sometimes there may be background noise or the lighting may be off, so I'm trying to come up with something that I can just, expand, and then when I'm done, I can fold up, collapse it and stuff. I hope this is not going to be one of those brittle BrickHeads that fall apart on you. So I'm trying to come up with something with a lighted bottom, or if I choose, I can rotate it around and then the bottom will be wood grain. So this could be wood grain or a backlight. It'll be soft underneath here. So white pieces, you can tell hands are not really functioning today. So like there's white pieces, they'll show up on here. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't want to step on that at night. That'll really wake you up. I hope this is not going to be a flimsy build where if I try to press on this will fall apart. Although I haven't really had an issue yet with it. Let me, there we go. That's much better. Like these right here will come crunching. I think that's the legs and these are the hands. And the thing bad about having a head cold sometimes, it's just achiness and stuff like that, fatigue. I slept probably about 9 hours. That's how I knew. when I was filming the last installment of one of these, I was really tired. So, alright. Okay, we're still working on this one side here. The stack and 2 plates on top one I just don't fancy. So, and well, Jay, why don't you just take a break? You know, if you're not feeling very well, you know, I can't tell you when they're due, but I just don't want to get too far behind on doing these. And yeah. Well, I'm going to do a quick assessment real quick. There's a lot of little parts into this one here, so you don't really know until you start building. And I'm just having it's not hard. It's just lots of little pieces so far, and that's pretty cool. I'm assuming it's hair, so it's not going to be symmetrical on both sides. I'm only going to assume that now. Yeah, I've been wanting to get to working on the backcountry, or the second portion of my campground. And now I'm going to start doing more short form videos on updates on the campground. So just maybe 30-second to a minute clip of just things that I'm doing. Hopefully, we got to make 2 of those. I wasn't paying attention. So I can draw more viewers to the channel and stuff. So on this channel here, I don't know if I'm going to do short form or not. A lot of the stuff that I get is pre-reviews. I have to wait for a certain day to release. I can't do I could do teasers. I think they said I could, but I can't show you the parts or anything like that in the box, so I can't just do that. I have to reread all the rules and make sure something's missing there. Oh, because we're not done yet. But yeah, I'm going to be trying to focus on doing more of the short form videos for the guys and gals who can't handle the lengthy 5-minute videos. Lengthy. It looks like it is going to be a mirror, and that's going to be hard to put on there. So if we're going back to that whole thing again, and you maybe should have mirrored it, but yeah, I'm just trying to plow through projects right now and get as many things done as I can. Trying some new strategies out, you know, new time management strategies and that kind of thing. The goal about the time management here is to see if I can get these done quickly so I can do the stuff that I want to do. And yeah, I haven't started that campground yet, and I think this is indeed a mirror of what we just did. If it is, then yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, let me take a look. Indeed, that's what it is. That's a mirror. So, yeah, it's exactly what this is. It's a mirror. So if you're building this, guys and gals, you have clones and mirrors at the same time. So maybe you may want to, you know, think about building 2 of them at once if you want to get it done in a hurry. I don't know why you would, but you know. So I'll be doing a lot more short form stuff. As far as for reviews, I like to go in detail. You know, I can't just, hey guys, here's a review on this set. This is my opinions on it. I mean, maybe make a video like, hey, I just released the review for this. If you want to check it out, go, view my main channel or something like that. And I may do those. I always think of short form like TikTok. Yeah, so both sides of the head are mirrors. Mirrors are like a reflection, it's like reversed. Alrighty. Alright. Okay, now we're working on the back side of the head. So it seems like a good chunk of this build is hair. I mean, it's not like they can stick a minifigure wig on this, huh? Okay. Not sure what goes on these here. I do see a bunch of these in leaf pieces. I think that's part of the leafy crown that goes on there. Is this reversed? This time I was smart, I read ahead. There we go. You don't have to do this, but I don't want to be here all day working on brick heads. I have a buddy who buys a lot of parts, but he doesn't build MOCs. I think he's trying to get a bigger collection than me, and I'm like, having parts for MOCs is one thing, but if you're not into building MOCs, well, why are you buying parts? Some people buy parts, to build MOCs. That's what I do, and some just try to buy them just for collection purposes, and some buy them for investments. And he's the type of guy that he keeps a lot of the stuff in boxes just so for investment value, so he can resell it later on. I'm like, well, people like me won't buy it at some inflated price. Kind of got a little mad at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, but a set that retails for $30, why would I give you $500 for it? See, that's what the mirror was right there. So why would I pay that much for something that, this is just meant to be enjoyed? I don't want to spend more on it. I want to spend less, because the hobby's already expensive as it is. The hobby part is building things. The job portion is editing the videos and delivering it to everybody else. That's where it gets kind of, rotated around. It's kind of, oh, speaking of that, I got to start preparing to get a haircut. The kid I go to, he's pretty good, but you got to book like 2 or 3 weeks in advance. He's the trainee, and he takes his time on things, but he does give a good fade and all that stuff, so it's worth the wait to get to his chair just for him to do his thing. Some of the senior barbers don't like that too much because he's taken away their clientele. I'm like, well, it's because somebody's in it for the passion. If you enjoy your job, you're going to do very good at it, versus just doing it for the money. Well, that's pretty cool. Nicely finished off, too. Just like when you do Lego. You could tell the Lego YouTubers who do this strictly for a job. I've seen some who do tutorials and it's really half-baked stuff, you know. Why do they do that? Because it's a job to them. They gotta whip it out at a certain quantity so they can make a living off of it. Where for me, I'd rather give you one really good build instead of some cheesy little, half-baked thing. And yes, you're going to have to make 12 of these here. You're going to have to make 12. What I'm going to go ahead and do real quick is I'm going to put all the flowers on the back here. So you get a lot of foliage pieces in here too. Flowers, stud flowers. These are like the new type of flowers now. They used to have the ones with the bigger leaves. They kind of neutered those off and they look like just studs with smaller holes. So I've been scarfing these up here, the little stud flowers. I've been ordering a little bit here and there. You know, like yellow. I had a viewer on my main channel mention that he likes the cool yellow flowers. They came in another set. He wants that and bright yellows. And I'm like, yes, because it looks good. You know, if you're building a house, you want to have at least some kind of like foliage in the front. And that's what we're shooting for. Okay, if you're done with that, you got to put the clip, and the clip goes sideways like that. A lot of us mock builders like this. For me personally, I like bright colors. I had a viewer say, well, not everything's supposed to be bright colors, so that's true. But when I'm building stuff in Lego, I don't want to make it dark and gloomy and dingy because it's not appealing for me. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's to each his or her own, but for me, I like brightly colored builds. If I wanted something with muted colors, I'll look out my window. Matter of fact, half the houses in my neighborhood are the same color. It's like when I build a house, I want to try to add different colors and stuff. And, one of them being is foliage pieces. But I did that last botanical set, and it was just the colors were so muted, and a lot of people actually like the muted colors. I just thought, maybe it's just my taste. I'm like, I don't like the muted stuff too much. When I get into Lego, I want to see bright colors because throughout the week when I'm working, I look at a screen in a coding developer software like Notepad, but with more features. And it's usually white text on a black background, and not really too fun. Okay, so you stick these on here. It's not too bad. Okay, so these don't quite line up, so I'm taking it that you're going to have to rotate these or something. I don't know. I'm having a hard time here keeping these straight. I'll just have to keep sticking them on there and finding out. Yeah, if you're like me and you got a head cold and your body's aching, putting these on here, you're going to have a lot of patience. It's all about the details. At least it adds color to her. It doesn't make it look bland or anything, but yeah, been taking care of parents and stuff is not an easy chore. I never thought to see the day, you grow up, your parents always take care of you if you scrape your knee or whatever. Now it's the other way around. Some kids never have to deal with that, and I thought I would be one of those. And no, a rest home is not the solution. I would not want to be put in a rest home. Although with memory loss and stuff kind of running around, that would be the scary thing. Why a lot of the Lego YouTubers do this stuff for a living and stuff, I back up my stuff on here just in case I do lose my memory. I'll know exactly what I did. Okay, we're not done yet. But that looks pretty cool. It adds a lot of color to her. And are we building something here? I thought it was going to be 2 of them, but no, it's just 1. We need some of these inverted plates. I think this is some kind of musical instrument. I can't tell. I'll show you when we get it built here. Okay. And oh, that doesn't go there. The way the arrows look like I had to put it there. This is some kind of a spoon. Maybe. Or a Morocco, I don't know. Another one of these barbells. Or a boat oar. Yeah, these little flowers are going to get all kind of weird and out of alignment. So that's where it goes. Not sure what that's about. And then we got to build the base. Yeah, so this one didn't fall apart yet. The only thing you're going to have a problem with is these goofy flowers. So how do you put this on there with those flowers on there? You're just going to have to do it like that. And that's pretty much it. So this is what, Moana? Not too bad. Hannah Montana. And that is what's remaining for bag 1. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to bag 2, which is Loretta. And this is the one here that looks pretty dreadful here. So I'm going to tell you right now, this has not only got a lot of small parts, orange parts, but we're also going to be doing a lot of repetitious stuff. How do I know that? Because of the hair. Almost looks like Raggedy Ann. Everybody remembers the Raggedy Ann doll, and it had Raggedy Andy. And, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what we'll be doing, and it's silhouetted out, which just doesn't make any sense why Lego still does that. Okay. Okay, let's get that going here. Yeah, the reviews on these are not too terribly bad. They're really quick. Okay, this one actually has a little bit of print work on it. I didn't mention this in the original unboxing because when I try to go through them real quick, so I'm not spending all day doing parts. Okay, reddish brown. Ooh, got to be careful. Lego says they have fixed that. Well, don't tell me you fixed it. Show me you have. Same thing I had a professor in college or grad school or whatever. Don't tell me, show me you did it. And sometimes that doesn't really work. I've heard blue becoming, or dark blue is becoming very brittle. So I don't know if you can tell, I'm yawning really quietly. I am tired. make sure the printed brick goes where this is on the left-hand side right here. Right, this clip here. I'm not sure how critical that is, but yeah. Okay, well, that color of that's a bit off. On the book it shows it lighter, but on here it's actually darker. I'm trying to, well, I'm not only trying to decipher what I'm doing here. Think of some more builds that I can do for. I have a couple of ideas. Like I said, I mentioned I had a tutorial. I can't mention it because of the competitors, but I searched and searched and searched on YouTube, and not one person even covered this tutorial, let alone the topic of it. And I thought, you're serious, right? So I thought, well, I guess that's my time to do something. And then I just got to obtain the parts and do so. Get the bricks and stuff. So it's just a matter of that. It's not time. The whole tutorial build thing, discussion type thing could be maybe about 5, maybe 10 minutes. It's hard to say, you know. But it's just, right now, the way everything is in my personal life is just getting to be kind of hectic, so I don't know. Okay, yeah, so this set here, if you've watched the main video with the brick exploration, it has lots of snot bricks. Snot bricks are stuff like this with studs on the sides. You get a ton of them in this set. I don't know, let's take a look at the manual. I don't know which one it has all the parts listed in here. I think it might be this one. Yeah, it does. So like these right here, you get 26 of those. And then you get 4 of those. 26 of these type of bricks here, that's enough to do a good side of a house or something. So that is what I'm saying, is you can get a good chunk of pieces in this set here. All right. Today I got my game on, even got my contacts in and all that stuff. I can read again. All right. And yeah, we're getting close to the hair. That's going to probably be a nightmare. We already can tell, huh? It's going to be pretty brutal with all the studs and round plates. It may say build 20 of them, and you can go pretty quick. And yes, I didn't put that in wrong. That's how the books mentioned it. And okay, looks like we're just building one of these. Let me make sure here in the manual. Matter of fact, I'm going to check and see if they're mirrors. And indeed these are. So I got to build one of these in reverse. So one closest to me is the manual. The other one here is the reflection. Yeah, so after I get this set built here, I'm going to do the review real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and start pushing these tax things done, get that out of the way. It's homework if you're a young builder on here watching these. That's homework for adults. You think you're done with homework when you get out of college or grad school? No, you still got homework. You got chores. You got to do it. So I got to get on the ball with that. And that's not, you know, I just don't like doing it. I don't think anybody likes sitting down doing that crap. We have to. I'm going to start pulling out certain pieces right now, since there's a lot of these. Okay. Dark orange is really nice color for building furniture. Yeah, I'm still trying to get my parents into Lego just to build stuff because I have a lot of stuff, you know, and I'm like, I got a big collection. I could drag some over, but they're not interested at all. They build puzzles, but they don't want to do the Lego stuff. They still think, you know, they're, you know how older people are. They think it's for kids. Well, it's for kids with an adult price tag to it. Like, no one's gonna judge you. I do it at my age. I mean, yes, I get people who come over that kind of give me those weird stares. But their opinions mean nothing to me. Well, maybe this hair stuff is not too big of a deal here. I'm saying this is probably the sides if they're mirrored. So far, I haven't seen any mirrors yet on this yet. So I think the mirror is going to be later on down the build. So we don't even know. But yeah, I've been getting more people who build along with these are people my age and older. I think because a lot of us in our 40s and 50s grew up with Lego, and it's a good way to chill out with the grandkids and stuff, or your children and grandchildren. You know, something I'll never experience, but it's a good way to just to have something in common, which is always good. And so far, I think the only thing they're changing is that this is the reflection, they go here. Hold on, okay, wait a minute, I'm missing some stuff here. Yes, you're gonna have to piece all these round plates. How many round plates did they give us in here? I gotta look and see. Let me get the hair. Let's get these put on here first, because I hope that one goes over here. I'm finding a lot of these, but I need another one like that. So I'm gonna start popping these out of the pile here until I find it. There we go. Let's see here. How many of these little round, orange round plates we get? I don't normally use those. I mean, it's just kind of a, well, you get 38 of those, boys and girls. Yeah. Have fun. If you need those, if you need a bunch of these, yeah, this set's got a bunch of them in here for you. And I think there's 2 studs that go in there too. And there is. Let's put those 1x1 plates up there. So I think the only difference here is these angle plates. Yeah, the one thing I do miss about, that I miss with my dad though, is the camping stuff. And that's it. And they go on the sides. This one here goes on this side. So it hangs over the arm like that. Huh. Is that just not going to go in? Okay, it's got to go like that. Don't shove it down all the way. See how much space I have here? So when you put this one on, it's the same thing. Just make sure it's kind of like about right there. All right. Huh. That must be the nose. Let's take a look. Now we already built the mirrors, so we don't have to worry about doing that again. Skip all that. And I thought we'd be working on the back side, but no, we're doing the flimsy parts next. Now I've heard dark brown is very brittle too. So, and I go to the Ambassador Network and let them know it. I don't play games when it comes to that stuff. You know, Very expensive hobby. I don't want to see it get... You know, I understand if a part is like really old. We're talking ancient, decrepitating old, faded, you know, that kind of thing. You know, that's understandable. Plastic does fatigue out. But not after a few years, unless you roughhouse with this stuff here. Oh, wait a minute, there's a round brick that goes on the top of this. And on this side here, a carrot stem. There we go. What is this then? Oh, wait a minute. This must be... well, that just broke off. So be careful with that. Why is it all the reddish brown is so brittle? So this is supposed to simulate little arrows or something like that. Okay. And now we're going to have to cake the front of this with more of these. What do we do about the back? I'm assuming that's probably the very last thing we're doing here. Yeah, I remember all the road trips we would go on with the family and stuff. Was always fun. And most of the time, though, everybody would rather sit in the car. I was the only person that wanted to get out and look at new things. Okay, that must be the eyes there then. I remember when my parents were my age, that's all they wanted to do was sit in the car. And now they kind of regret it. And I'm like, I've been trying to tell you that. There's plenty of time to sit. What am I doing right now, guys and gals? I'm sitting. I'm sitting right now building a Lego set. I see a stud there. This up on the top here is there's a lot of orange here. If you have a hard time seeing orange, you're going to have a problem. All right. But yeah, I kind of regret sitting in the car and stuff like that. It's like, this is before Google Maps and all this stuff. So the only thing you had to do is go off of brochures. And I was like, oh, why don't we stop here? This looks like fun. Oh, that's for greenhorns. Oh, that's for people who don't know what they're doing. I'm just thinking, oh, it looks fun. It looks like something to do. And that's how my parents were. But they didn't want to do any of that stuff. And like from time to time, I'm just like, here it's like with my family, you know, she doesn't want to do much of that at all. She's like, oh, I work all day. I don't want to have to do that. I mean, I understand she's on her feet all day because she's an RN and stuff like that. But I'm like, you know, after a while, I'm tired of sitting. Like for me, I'm sitting, I'm working in front of a computer. That's the last thing I want to do when I'm on vacation, you know. Well, that's not going to work. Okay, put the eyes on the last of these here. What is this, Goldilocks? Okay, we got a bunch of these, but I need the other ones here. Despite what this is, I haven't had it fall apart yet. And I got a bunch of these right here. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, so far she looks pretty good. We're not done yet with the front. Like I said, this one here, they're going to punish you. They are literally going to cake tons of these little pieces on here. You'll be spending a lot of time on these brick heads, just mainly for the hair, nothing else. I mean, it's about the details. Am I getting bored with it? Not yet. Because it's not like I'm building like 5,000 of the same item. And two, it's brightly colors. It's not dark or dingy or anything like that. Despite what these are, though, they're very relaxing. They're nothing too strenuous. Okay. And then we're doing the back part right here. So let's make sure that it is correct. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and do the back part next. At least it's just one piece. And then we can kind of breeze through this one here. But I'm getting more people saying thank you for these style of videos just because I'm not speed building through. I'm walking through this, troubleshooting, because if I have an issue, somebody else is probably going to have the same issue too. And my intent on this channel was just, these were just meant to be notes for when I do the reviews. I never figured, you know, I would be helping people out with these. You know, I didn't think anybody would really be interested in it. So these are going to be more labeled as troubleshooting videos, you know. And my apologies if that sounds pretty negative, but no, I never intended for these to ever be troubleshooting, you know, just because they're just my rough notes. But I'm glad to hear though that, you know, many people enjoy these, you know, type of troubleshooting guides here and building things. And we make a well, if I make a mistake, I'm sure somebody else probably misinterpret too. Or some people are probably building along with me and going, Jay, you made a mistake there. How? How could you do that? You know, you don't know. I mean, but we all build differently anyways, so we see everybody sees things differently. We don't see anything the same. I did get a comment though about somebody with a learning disability like mine, and it's easier to deal with when you see somebody else on here make mistakes and don't have to filter them out. You know, it just, whoops, that doesn't go there. At least I didn't press that one down all the way. And yes, that is kind of brittle until you get it done. But for somebody like myself who has a disability, I just don't, it just doesn't do me any good if I filtered all these and say, well, I don't make mistakes. Like if I forget a step, I say, well, check your pages, yours may be sticking. Or I may have read something wrong. Okay, we're getting close here, folks. And then we got to put two 1x1s above here. So with dealing with light colors like this, it's kind of hard. At least Lego is highlighting some of these parts in here for us. That's always a big help for me. Like, okay, did I even put that in there? No, I did not. You know, and I can just look at the highlights. At least these are green. I can read that better. So, well, yeah, I do sound a little raspy today, but. And when I get sick, I sound like I smoke. And no, I don't smoke. Smoking's very bad. I mean, if you smoke, that's cool, but for my health, it would be very bad. Okay, so now we're going to focus on the top here, and we got four little bald spots there. So what I'm taking it is now we're going to start filling in. Now you want to hold on. This thing's kind of top heavy. I don't know why they stuck those down there. We could have put those on there last because this thing's going to want to rock around and tilt and be tipsy and stuff. So, okay. And 1x1 plate looks like it goes here. Okay. Yeah, if the colors were changed a bit different, this looked like little Raggedy Ann here. Or Andy. Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy. My sister had both of them. Maybe it was my grandmother. Alright, and then the bow goes in her hand here. Like that. They show it. Oh, they show it crooked like that too. Alright. Okay, I survived. I got 2 extra studs. I must have missed one somewhere. Let me take a look on the top here. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, I did, you know. I don't see anything. Maybe it's just one extra. You got an extra one of these. Either you're lucky or you missed something. And that's what's next is the base. Alrighty, and we set her on the base like that. And I need to learn how to do that still. I need to write that function up for my Photoshop template, but for the most part though, that's what we have left for bag 2. And let's take a look. We'll do a quick review on these. And despite with all the parts and the little pieces though, it's not too bad. These things are barely tacked onto these stands, so they just come off. I think that's what their intent is for. I'm probably just going to leave them on. And with Morana, if I'm pronouncing her name right, where's the box at? Moana. The only thing fragile on her is these little leaf pieces. They'll get out of alignment. And then we have Merida. She's not too bad. So that's pretty much the tour there. Now, for the review on these, you know, my build experience is pretty pleasant. It was not bad. I didn't have to deal with anything. Nothing fell off. That's always good. So I think this is more relaxing here. And oh, this is what they look like in the animation here. Pretty close. And I'm pretty happy with it. For the build quality, nothing flaked off really bad. So I'm not going to say these are horrible. Despite how these are on here, the only thing I'm going to say that would break off would be these things on the base. I know these are meant to come off, but just don't pick it up from the base. And you think these little hair pieces would come off, but I'm kind of tugging on some stuff here, and it's not really moving, so that's pretty good. So build quality is pretty good on these. Can't drop it in the city. Are these playable? You probably could play with these. Could you put them in a mock? You could, or you can make some other stuff out of them, but personally, though, for me, as a... Oh, excuse me, I couldn't hide that beyond. But for me, as a city builder, I'm going to say they're not really appealing to me. So the build out of these, everything's printed and stuff like that, I'm going to say a 9.5. Well, Lego scale goes from 1 to 10. I would rate it at a 10. Okay, it kept my interest. It wasn't boring. The instructions were easy to follow. So yeah, so if you're into BrickHeadz, there you go. These are pretty good to put together. Everything's printed. You don't have to fight with anything. Manual was easy to read. So for me personally, I was happy with them. So I think I'm going to cut off the video here because I'll just keep rambling on. So now I want to do the formal review. Take my pictures of this and then put all the parts together. So I hope you all enjoy this installment of the Lego BrickHeadz, Morana and Merida. So tell me what you think of these builds. Pretty cool? To me, it was a very relaxing build.